result of that, there's been a global settlement reached. What you have is what I'll call version 6A, which is about, I don't know how many versions of the settlement agreement we looked at. I think substantially it contains all the terms of the settlement agreement. I'm not going to sit here and tell the council that some attorney isn't going to call me tomorrow with a word change. But substantively, it lays out all the principles in terms of the settlement agreement. All the parties will bear their own costs and attorney's fees. That was a fairly heated issue in negotiation that has been resolved. Everybody's walking away from it. GDEP is going to contract with asphalt paving. Thereafter, they're going to do a change order, allow the city to take over as contract administrator. All the fees that would be going to GDEP as contract administrator are going to be handled by the city. So we're going to be overseeing the project, step into as the contract administrator, and that's going to resolve the issues. No claims going back on the development agreement at all against the city. Complete waiver and release of any and all claims any of the parties have, and everybody walks away, and hopefully with this we'll get the project underway. I've got a suggested motion. It's to enter a settlement agreement and to authorize the mayor and the city attorney to sign the legal documents. There's going to be some other legal documents. There's going to be settlement agreement, perhaps some wording changes. Again, I've given you a draft that I think is substantively on par with the agreement of the parties. We're going to have to do some stipulations to settle the court case. There's a hearing on Friday. We're going to have to take care of, finalizing the judgments and then finalizing the cross-claim issues and everything else. So it's kind of legal mop-up stuff. So I'm asking the council for that approval on behalf of myself and the mayor to sign those documents. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
I want to make sure that the motion as printed, you're actually amending it. So I want to make sure we get it right.
I'm fine with the motion. I just wanted to let the council know all the facts.
Any questions or discussion by council members on this one? Hearing none. Any questions or discussions by citizens in the audience on this agenda item?
Michael Peters, 640 West Lee, Prescott 86303. Number one, well, it's always good to have resolution of a pending issue. I don't know to what extent the judge had resolved all the pending issues existing other than the judgment that I read that was on Prescott E-News website. So without having a full understanding of how far along the judge was, my comments are this council got us into this problem, and because of giving away an inherent contractual right to Granite Dells or Mike Fan, this council created that problem. As a result of that problem, over $125,000 attorney's fees plus costs, and I don't know what the total number of cost accumulation was, but you've wasted our taxpayer dollar. And now to rush to judgment, and it's always good, as I've said, to have resolution to a case. But in this case, I think that just to walk away, throw your hands up and say, well, it's not my taxpayer dollar being wasted, that $125,000 plus dollars. Well, I think we're close enough in that litigation that judge is going to give an award. And it's going to, whether or not it's reimbursement of $50,000, whether or not it's reimbursement of $100,000 or $125,000, I think we're close enough on the issues as I understand them. Now, I know you go back there in your secret session and discuss all these nuances, so I'm only shooting from the hip and kind of guesstimating, but I think this council owes a duty to the taxpayers of this county or this city to try to recover some of our, or if not all of our attorney's fees and our court costs. Otherwise, you've just been blasting them off in the wind, and that, you can run lawsuits up, run up the costs, and then settle them. And I've seen it happen in civil cases time and time again. So I think that's a disservice to compromise this case because of the errors made by this council in assigning away an inherent contractual right to Mike Fan to let him approve the bidding process. That's all I have to say.
Mr. Peters, in response to your statement of the $125,000 and what Judge Bluff might do, our attorney was quite confident that it would actually recover the $125,000. The downside to that was we could be in appeals for another year and run up a bill of $800,000, so the council choose to do what we thought was best for the citizens of the city. Thank you.
Well, I'm not finished after that. I still have maybe a minute. Well, I talked to Mr. Kidd, and Mr. Kidd told me that the appeal on this case would be handled in-house, so it wouldn't cost us any more than what we're already paying our legal staff, plus the cost of an appeal. And it's not going to cost any $800,000 or $200,000 or $100,000 to handle an appeal of this nature.
Any further comments from citizens in the audience? Hearing none, chair is open for a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I move to authorize the mayor and city attorney on behalf of the city of Prescott to enter into a settlement agreement with plaintiffs and co-defendants, cross-claimants, and sign such legal documents as may be necessary to effectuate settlement.
Second.
Please indicate your vote.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you all. Meeting is adjourned.